Today, I've got this for you. Danny Rohl makes a title admission. The Rangers boss is aiming to silence 7,000 Celtic supporters inside Ibrox. The brutal reason Rangers will regret letting Yan Diomande slip through the net. And Rabbi Matondo, it's starting to look like he's not starting another Rangers game anytime soon. So here we go. They've agreed to shove over 7,000 Celtic fans into Ibrox for the Scottish Cup quarterfinal, Broomloan end and all, first time in years. And you can already hear the noise merchants gearing up like it's some grand return of civilization. It's not. It's a test. For our players and for the people running the place. Danny Rohl's come out and admitted the obvious. Yes, that many of them can have an influence. Of course it can. You pack a corner with that lot and they'll squeal at every throw-in like they've invented football. But here's the line I actually like. Rohl says if we play the first 50 minutes the way we did last week, they'll go quiet. And he's right. The only thing that shuts them up is Rangers doing Rangers things. Pressing. Winning duels. Moving the ball with purpose. Putting them on the back foot where they belong. Because last weekend was the story of two halves, wasn't it? 2 up at the break, then we let the game swing with 1 goal, nerves around the stands, and suddenly it's chaos and we're hanging on. Rohl's basically saying it out loud. Football's not just tactics, it's emotion. And the second half got away from us. Good. Learn it. Fix it. Don't talk about nearly. Rangers don't do nearly. And don't let anybody dress this up as some psychological edge for the run-in. Rohl's dismissed that patter. This match is about one thing. Getting into the semi-final, that's it. Win, you're closer to the trophy. Lose, you're watching somebody else walk out at Hampton while we chew our nails off. Now, on Skov Olsen, Rohl's given him a fair verdict. Says he's tactically intelligent, knows where he can help, and we've finally seen signs of life with a couple of assists lately. But Rohl's also basically telling him there's more required. Good, because at Rangers, you don't get praise for looking lively for 10 minutes. You earn it for 90, especially in games like this. And the manager's not obsessing over that reported $8 million option right now either. Sensible, perform first, paperwork later, and here's the big boost. For once, it sounds like we've got a full squad to pick from. No excuses, no patchwork team, proper choices. Connor Barron's back training after being out since early January, and that immediately puts pressure on lads who've been off the boil. Nicholas Raskin's levels have dipped. You can see it with your own eyes. Never mind your wee graphs. If Barron's ready, you ask the hard question. Who's earned the jersey this week? Same goes for Diomande. Livewire. Energy. Legs. We missed that spark when the game turned last time. He's barely played lately, so it's a decision. Do you gamble on his intensity, or stick with what started well and demand they finish the job this time? Because with 7,000 of them in the corner, it's simple. Are we going to let Ibrox hear their songs? Or are we going to make them sit on their hands again when the first tackle goes in and they realize it's not their day? Drop your prediction in the comments and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Right, let's talk about Rabbi Matondo, because this one's been drifting for months and now it's basically out in the open. 3 appearances all season, 65 minutes. That's not out of form. That's not unlucky. That's a player who's nowhere near the manager's plans. Chris Jack's come out and said what most of us have been thinking. Unless there's an injury crisis before the next derby, Matondo won't get a kick. And Jack doesn't do fairy tales. He's saying Matondo is miles and miles outside what Rangers need right now. Miles. That's the kind of line that tells you the decision's already been made behind the scenes. And when you look at it, you can't even argue. Since 2022, it's been stop-start, flashes, then nothing. This season, he hasn't started a league match at all, not one. His last run out was Queen's Park in the Cup back in February, and even that didn't spark anything. If you're not trusted in league games, and you're not trusted in the big ones, then what are you actually here for? His contract's up at the end of the season, and there's no noise about an extension. None. That's usually your answer right there. The club had a window in January to move him on and get a fee, and somehow we didn't. That's what annoys me. Rangers used to be ruthless with squad management. Now we let deals run down and act surprised when we get nothing back. So let's call it what it looks like. He's been frozen out. He's likely talking to other clubs already, because any player with sense would be. And unless something drastic happens, that Queen's Park match might be the last time you ever saw him start in a Rangers shirt at Ibrox. So let me get this straight. Rangers had Yan Diomande in the building, 16 years old, raw, hungry on trial, and we still let it slip through our fingers. Not because the boy didn't want it, because an agent started waving his wee hands about, demanding more money, and somebody at Ibrox decided it was too much hassle. That's the bit that sticks in your throat. The lad even played for the B team in a friendly at Ibrox. You've seen him with your own eyes. You've had him on the grass. That's not a rumor from some scout in a hotel lobby. That's a player right in front of you, and we're still sitting here talking about what might have been. Diomande's come out himself and said it. He wanted the move. His agent at the time priced it out. And instead of Rangers doing what big clubs do, getting it done, finding a way, protecting the club's interests, but still securing the talent, we walked away and patted ourselves on the back for being sensible. Now look at him. RB Leipzig. Goals, assists, Bundesliga, and Sky Sports Germany, putting daft money on his head, the sort of figure that makes you laugh and then swear. The usual pack circling as well. Man United, Liverpool, Bayern. Because that's what happens when you spot a top prospect early, and then don't have the nerve to finish the job. Somebody else takes the profit. Somebody else gets the player. And don't tell me he wouldn't have flourished up here. A boy doing that at 19 in Germany would have ripped holes in the Scottish Premiership as a teenager if we'd brought him in properly and backed him. He could have been the biggest export this league ever saw, and it would have been Rangers setting the price. Rangers taking the credit, Rangers showing we know how to build again. Instead, we're left with the same old story. Good spot, bad finish, and another regret filed away like it's normal. How many times do we have to watch that happen before somebody at the top learns what Rangers are supposed to be? Right, that's the lot. Now tell me straight in the comments what you make of all this. Which story's got you raging, and what needs fixed at Rangers first?